Oh no. Oh no. We went to. Oh man. You gotta be kidding me. Because of this bull crap. Hello again, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I am so excited. Dream Championship Wrestling, episode number 17. In the beginning, I got to tell you, I never would have thought of episode 17 that we would make it this far, that Dream Championship Wrestling would take the online fantasy wrestling world by storm. But we have, and here we are. And as the episodes have progressed, we've gotten a little bit more interested in editing. I've done a lot more cutting, a lot more jumping back and forth. We're going to go just straightforward with this episode. We're going to get back to the basics. We're going to check on the gym. We're going to check on available talent. We're going to have matches. I did promise in the last episode that we would have an updated top 5, so we'll have that for you here shortly as well. If we start off in the training center, I will show you that ahead of time so you didn't have to sit here and watch. I did increase everything. And then over in the merchandise area, show you everything that we have available. We have just been selling out of everything, so I did boost up. We're really taking a chance here with the branded snacks because they are perishable. But 5,000 branded snacks, 5,000 goods, 5,000 towels. Everything else I think I'm going to let run. It's a heck of a balance to decide, should I get rid of these t-shirts, because we only have 558, and then buy 3,000 or 5,000 more? It's just one of the things as an owner of a professional wrestling organization, ladies and gentlemen, you got to take into account. But I think we're pretty good with what we have here. And let me say this, because, again, I think an episode or two ago I mentioned this, and I am a man of my word, unless I forget something. But I try to be a man of my word. And we mentioned that the March episode was going to be a pay-per-view type experience called March Massacre, based around a particular sort of theme. That is still in place, so this episode is actually going to be doubly special. Here are our friends at TFC. We've had an ongoing battle with TFC. They are an MMA promotion. Obviously, we're professional wrestling. Besides Ryuji, who we're a big fan of, that comes in as basically a dark match guy underneath talent, and our guys have beat up on him. He hasn't won a match in Dream. Goda is actually 0-4 in Dream Championship Wrestling. However, other than Goda, we have not been able to beat anybody from TFC. Everybody that comes in is just handing it to us. Obviously, we all know that nut Yasuo Tanaka. I mean, the fans hate him. He comes in, flips everybody off, does some inappropriate gestures. I think in one event he exposed himself, so he's a real clown, a real jerk. But he takes it to you in the ring. We just can't beat this guy. Massa just came in on the last card and beat Cody Rhodes. So we are having a lot of trouble with him. So what we decided to do, we're going to put 2 in 1 here. Not only is this going to be the themed event, which I'm going to hold off a little bit before you find out what that is, but it's going to be in combination with Dream Championship Wrestling versus Tokyo Fighting Championships. So we're going to have a card. You can see we were able to get Bernardo Gomez, Tanaka, Yamamoto, and Tashiro back. All 4 of those guys are going to face Dream Championship Wrestling talent on this card. We're not going to cut. I won't be like the last 2 events where the YouTube executives took it to us and we had to split that and the main event was on a separate card. You're going to get it all today. This is going to be one explosive card. But we're out here looking for available talent. Our gym has 1 opening left before we have to upgrade again. So do we take a chance? Do we try to grab an AEW or a WWE talent? As you saw at the beginning of the previous episode, Edge didn't want to come over. So maybe it's time to focus on AEW. I was trying to form a relationship with AEW. I know we have their World Heavyweight title now, courtesy of Braun Strowman. And Wardlow is a very angry individual. Looks like he's still half of the tag champions with MJF. So, interesting combination, MJF and Wardlow. So, do I try to take one of these talents? I think Ricky Starks might be the guy. He certainly could freshen things up. Our opening matches always seem to be Bo Dallas. And Bo is now 0-9 in Dream Championship Wrestling, so we'd like to mix it up, not always have Bo Dallas opening the cards. And poor Bo, God bless him, he doesn't want to open all the cards as well. I think Ricky Starks is going to be the ideal choice here. So let's sit down with Ricky. And, I mean, I just don't think Ricky's $30K. I'm not a cheapskate. And if we're only going to pay him $1,800 a month, the $15,000 up front, you know, you're tacking an additional $1,000 something onto that. So he's making about $3,000 a month, at least for that first year, if you look at it that way. Let's see if Ricky takes it. Wow. Well, I mean, and he is a superstar. Well, the month of March, we're not going to have a piece of new talent. However, we got plenty of people booked for this card, so let's jump into the booking. Quick note on this too, Brian Cage, I believe this is his last month of training. He will be back. And Brian Cage, if I look at his attack and his defense, this man has put in the work. And if you look at his image, he's put on some size. I mean, he is looking absolutely shredded. He looks pissed off. And I can't wait to see Brian Cage back in Dream Championship Wrestling. And the final thing before we jump into the booking, I like to check the trust, and there's a rumor Matt Jackson isn't happy with his pay. All right, and we can't forget with Matt Jackson that he is quite popular. And he is making $2,254 a month. Matt Jackson's record in Dream Championship Wrestling is 2-4, but I do have to take the popularity into account. We didn't get him in here to compete for the world title. His attack and defensive skills are not, top of the line. But we love you, Matt. No offense to you, buddy. So let's go ahead and do the middle. $29.30 for Matt. Of course, he's satisfied. They're always satisfied when you give them more money. All right, it's time to put this card together. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are set. Let's unveil the card here. This is fantastic. I am on the edge of my seat. We are going to open the night up here with Matt Jackson taking on Rhino. We mentioned Bo Dallas earlier as the card opener. We're going to give Bo the night off. Next up, we're going to start the run between the 4 matches. Dream Championship Wrestling versus TFC. Who's going to come out on top? Masa Toshiro coming off that win against Cody Rhodes. This time he gets CM Punk. We then move on to Yamamoto. He's coming in to take on Bray Wyatt. We're following that up with Bernardo Gomez taking on Brock Lesnar. And then the rematch. The Idiot, the Clown, the most hated man in professional wrestling and mixed martial arts. Yasuo Tanaka getting the rematch against Rob Van Dam. Rob demanded this match. We have a lot of demands here on Dream Championship Wrestling, but we try to be an owner of the wrestlers. We try to give the people what they want. So here you go, the rematch, Tanaka and RVD. We then move on to Charles Young versus Cody Rhodes. As promised, we follow that up, Claudio Castagnoli finally defending his DFW heavyweight title, or the Dream Championship Wrestling U.S. belt, as we like to say, versus the man that he took the title from in the first place. Matt Gibson comes in from DFW. He gets a shot at the title. And then we close the night off, as promised. Dream Heavyweight Tag Team titles on the line. Kashiro Asakawa and Yuki Himuro, a team now known as the Orient Express, taking on Big Trouble, the 2 biggest men we've got in Dream Championship Wrestling. they do pose big problems, and they are big trouble for anyone in Dream. Braun Strowman, Eric Rowan. Wow. 8 matches. Unless something falls through here, don't want to jinx myself. The last time we tried 8 matches, something happened. Also, well, what is the theme? Look at the top of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. It is Cage Deathmatch Night. Every one of these events is going to take place in a cage. Nobody can get in. Well, I guess you can get out. I guess you could get in too. But anyway, death match, cage match, every match. I can't wait for this. And the last little note before we get this started, we're not just dropping a cage over the ring and acting like it's a special event. This is escape only tonight. So this is no pinfall, no submission. To win, you've got to escape the cage. So when I said no one can get in, no one can get out, well, the idea tonight is to get out. So good luck to everybody. Let's hope there aren't any severe injuries. That's the biggest concern that I have. But you know what? Let's get it started. Unless something falls through here, don't want to jinx myself. The last time we tried 8 matches, something happened. We're finalizing decisions. You gotta be kidding me. We have a deal with TFC and Bernardo's still bowed out on us. I mentioned it before I even hit the button. The last time we tried to do 8 matches, and back in the day when we did do 8 matches and we got cut down to 7 because of this bull crap, that's what I said was you need to run an 8-match card with your own roster. You cannot rely on other talent. So Bernardo, we hate your guts. Oh no. Yasuo Tanaka just gave us the middle finger. Oh no. I mean, if they don't want to do strong style, why do they agree to come in and... Oh no. Oh no. We went to... Oh man. Okay. Well, lesson learned, ladies and gentlemen. We now have a 6-match card in a large arena. We went from overselling 40,000 tickets to now projected to have 18,000. This is going to be a disaster, but we're stuck with it right now, and this is the life of a promoter. We're just going to have to rebound after this one, but I just hope the Toshiro and Yamamoto, I hope we can kick their ass. All right, guys, you may hear it in my voice. I am still so disappointed with the no-shows that really decimated attendance. But with that being said, there's nothing we can do about it. We've got to regroup. The next card, we'll do our very best. I can't even talk. I'm so flustered to bounce back. But for this card, our March Massacre, Matt Jackson and Rhino started the night off with a great match. Got a 100% match eval. Rhino was able to escape the cage first and secure victory. Followed that up with CM Punk getting our first win over TFC as he escapes the cage, gets a 78% match eval, defeating Masa Toshiro. In the next and last, because of the no-shows, TFC versus DCW bout, Hiroshi Yamamoto is able to escape the cage first, gets an 88%. Bray Wyatt is the loser. Then our co-main event, which was Charles Young and Cody Rhodes. Actually a very good match. Got a 93% eval. Cody Rhodes escapes first and brings home the victory. Then we move on to the two title matches. Claudio Castagnoli defends his DFW heavyweight crown against DFW superstar Matt Gibson. Claudio gets it done again, escapes the cage first. Matt Gibson is not able to bring the title home. And then in the main event, ladies and gentlemen, we have new tag team champions, the Orient Express, able to escape the cage first. This was a wild, crazy affair, as neither team, there was no tag due to the cage. It was just I almost used a curse word. It was a Donnybrook. It was a melee. But in the end, Asakawa and Braun Strowman were able to leave the cage. And then Yuki Himura gets out before Eric Rowan. So, Orient Express, your new tag champions of the world. This is what I'm afraid to do, but let's do it. Orient Express, congratulations again. And that is our very first failure. But with anything in life, it's not all going to be roses, sunshine, rainbows, and stuff. You're going to have adversity. You're going to have failure. And I don't mean to use the old Rocky cliche, but it's not how many times you get knocked down. It's how many times you get up. So we are going to bounce back in April with a hell of a card for you guys. Let's see what we've got here. The financials. I went overboard on the merch, expecting to have a huge crowd. Very disappointing. And this is going to harm our relationship with TFC. I can guarantee you that. All right. Well, and somehow or another, we still made money financially, which back in the day, if I would have made nearly $500,000, I would have been thrilled. But, that's the most important thing. We didn't lose any money. We still came out financially successful, even though the event and the hit to the brand. When you have a failure event and the seats were barren, it hurts the brand. So our American popularity just took a hit. And maybe it was on purpose. Maybe Tokyo Fighting did it on purpose. I don't know. But just very, very disappointing. So guys, I think that is going to do it for us for this episode. Ernest joins KFS. Brian Cage. Well, there we go. Big news. We needed some positive news going into April. We knew he was coming back, but man, does he look good. Beautiful jacket, shades. The women are all over him. Well, okay. And this, again, whew, all right. We'll take any positive that we can get. Toy sales are booming thanks to the popularity of our wrestlers. And there we go. All right, guys. Well, we made it through this episode. I can guarantee you April's going to be better. We've done so many things with getting guest wrestlers to come in. Not just TFC, but Wardlow. All kind of different guys from different organizations. And we do appreciate when they show up. But I think April, I said that this episode was going back to basics in terms of just the linear nature of the episode. But next month, or this month here, because we are in April, we're going to go ahead and just do Dream Championship Wrestling wrestlers only. But I can tell you the big news is that Braun Strowman will be defending the title. We've had some fans clamoring for a possible matchup, so that may indeed happen, meaning, yes, I'm not going to divulge his opponent at this time. You're going to have to wait and see, but you're also going to get the return of Brian Cage. I can't wait to see his new style. So do we put him in there? Do we throw him in the deep end against one of the absolute studs of Dream Championship Wrestling? Or do we put him in against Bo Dallas? No offense, Bo, if you're watching this. Find out next time. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you have not already done so, and I highly doubt that you would not have already done so, but just in case, if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. Kasugi, I don't want to subscribe to your channel, but these videos, they're pretty decent. Okay, if that's how you feel, at least give the video a thumbs up. Drop us a comment. What do you like? What do you not like? What matchups would you like to see? What wrestlers would you like us to sign? It doesn't mean I'm going to listen to a damn thing you say, but I'd appreciate seeing it nonetheless. And we like to always have our cards rated with fire emojis in the chat, 1 through 5. I don't know what you'd give this one. I mean, I probably wouldn't even give it a 5. But regardless, that's it. I'm rambling on. Thank you again, guys, and we'll see you next time.